just say it is definitely going to change the world, the way the world mines, and whether they want to or not. This technology is going to force change. Now, go ahead and invent a machine that's better than this, that's cleaner than this. Really doesn't matter. That's what it's going to have to be to compete with what we do. Technology like this does not exist. And so ultimately, it's not going to be a question of permission. Even the littlest guy, rather than packing 800 pounds of gear, can pack 200 pounds of gear, right? It becomes lighter, it's more efficient, it traps more gold, and it does no environmental damage. So it's not optional whether this thing is going to penetrate the marketplace. The real question is how fast and how far and how we sort of control the growth of this company. And this patent on this product is worldwide. So it's going to be very difficult to compete. It's radical. We were never challenged in the patenting process. There is nothing like this out there. So it's just going to happen. How fast that happens is how much money is attracted to this project, how many miners want to quickly get involved, and quite frankly, I'm not going to be the guy who decides that. The government of the countries where these things are mined are going to decide whether they need to clean up their act. And quite frankly, the people and the energy of really the younger people today, people aren't accepting the fact that you can pollute and kill the fish in that river. It's becoming not acceptable. And there's a lot of pressure on governments, and governments are doing what they can by creating regulation. But they can't innovate equipment, they can't innovate the methodology. That's what we've done. So all we need them to do is to go, you can't have any arsenic, you can't have any mercury, you can't have any cyanide. And we'll go, well then you might want one of these. And so, this is what's going to change the world. Not us, we just have one of the tools. But the world is changing itself, and it's changing itself for the better in this regard. And in the end, we still need these metals, we still need these tech. This is one of the things that's helping clean the world, is modern technology. And it all relies on precious metals, platinum, silver, golds, to make all these high efficiencies. So we got to do that super clean so we can get these other awesome tools and use them to, I hate to create an Uber or, create the processes that, reduce, emissions, that reduce the other pollutants, come from the ability to do things efficiently. And so, and where does it start? Where is the actual ground floor? It's actually mining. We're not going to stop mining, or we're going to stop doing many of the things that we do. So what we have to do is change mining. And this is really the process that's going to take place. We've gone through the prototype stage. We're now going into our second stage financing, and sometimes the word mezzanine would be used, a mezzanine financing, where we now develop the working prototype. And so that's the stage we are today. And we're sort of quite a ways into that process. We now have two of the largest mining equipment manufacturing companies in the world have signed NDAs to come look at our equipment and see if they'd like to be part of that. And we have, of course, large interest, from these companies that cannot mine their actual concessions. So I can tell you, there's billions of dollars of precious metals in the ground, and some countries are so tough that they actually can't take them out because they actually cannot say they could do this in a safe environmental way, and they cannot get permitted. Well, actually, if they owned a piece of this equipment, they could actually put this mine into production. So how about this? You're a medium-sized mining company. You have 3 mines in production, 7 you cannot permit and have go to work, and they're sitting on your balance sheet as 0. And I show up with this piece of equipment and say, now you can actually mine them and get the permit. And so you have these 7 mines that sit there as a 0 asset on your balance sheet, and now you can actually mine it and pass the permit. Well, this 10-cent public mining company could all of a sudden become a $5 per share mining company, because their assets just went from 5 million to 500 million, because they can actually count that asset in the ground because it is mineable. So, this is what's going to make, really that significant difference.